Bruce Arena turns the clock back with his U.S. national team roster, even though everyone else set theirs forward earlier this week. AS Monaco proves to Manchester City that just because you're rich doesn't mean you'll have a good time in the world's wealthiest country. Javier Hernandez reminds us all why betting on the Atlanta Falcons is a bad idea. Gareth Southgate continues to give the youth a chance, and FC Dallas keep hope alive in the CONCACAF Champions League. It's Thursday, March 16th, 2017. I'm Taylor Rockwell, sitting here as alone as Samir Nasri watching soccer in the King Power Stadium tunnel. And you are listening to The Goalmouth, a podcast collaboration between Dirty Tackle, Howler Magazine, Ryan Bailey's Mother and Father, and The Total Soccer Show. Up first, Bruce Arena has named his 24-man roster for the USA's upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Honduras and Panama, and it's interesting. Clint Dempsey got his first call-up since medical issues relating to an irregular heartbeat sidelined him for much of the Sounders 2016 MLS Championship. If he features, it will be his first minutes for the national team since the Gold Cup in late June of 2016. The other big surprise in terms of those included is 34-year-old DeMarcus Beasley. Daryl and I gave our immediate reactions on the Total Soccer Show on Wednesday, and one thing we urged everyone to remember is that, number one, Beasley is probably there for his leadership and experience rather than his ability to play 180 minutes of soccer, and two, the three guys who tend to start up top for Honduras are all teammates of DeMarcus at club level. In terms of the names and faces that didn't get featured on Fox's fancy rollout package, there's DeAndre Yedlin, Timmy Chandler, Graham Zusi, Benny Feilhaber, and Sasha Kleshtin. Injuries and suspensions definitely played at least some part of some of those decisions, but I'll go on record and say that I'm sad not to see Benny included. I personally was late to the whole Benny Feilhaber is excellent, and it's a shame that he doesn't get more looks from the U.S. national team bandwagon, but, Benny Feilhaber is excellent, and it's a shame that he doesn't get more looks from the U.S. national team. That pretty much sums it up. The USA will play Honduras in California on March 24th, and then travel to Panama City to take on, not surprisingly, Panama on March 28th. Big game news now. Yesterday saw yet another crazy Champions League clash, with AS Monaco defeating Manchester City 3-1, thereby advancing to the next round of the competition. Despite an aggregate scoreline of 6-6, Monaco went through courtesy of their 3 away goals from the first leg. In the second leg, first half goals from Kylian Mbappe and Fabinho put the hosts up heading into halftime. A rejuvenated City team, who no doubt got the Pep Guardiola equivalent of the hairdryer treatment, pulled one back, with Leroy Sané finishing a rebound in the 71st minute. But Timu Bakayoko, who no doubt will be the subject of massive transfer bids this summer, headed home the decisive goal just 6 minutes later. Monaco will go through to the quarterfinals, much to the chagrin of both Manchester City and, I have to believe, PSG. There's no way the Parisians were thrilled to see their rivals for the Ligue 1 crown get past Pep Guardiola and company only a week after they choked so badly against his former club. I guess PSG's players will just have to console themselves with their massive salaries, enormous mansions, and wildly expensive sports cars. Yes, it seems being a professional athlete can be so tough. Oh, meanwhile, I accidentally cut my foot off, but I'm waiting to see if it fixes itself because, deductibles. In the day's other Champions League action, there wasn't too much in terms of surprise, except for Javier Hernandez's head and Jan Oblak's insane goalkeeping abilities. If you haven't seen his triple save, it's a thing of absolute beauty. Atletico Madrid won the first leg away at Bayer Leverkusen 4-2, so a 0-0 draw was enough to see them comfortably through. Chicharito, however, looked anything but comfortable, having shaved his head earlier in the week as a result of a lost wager. Hernandez, who is an avid NFL fan, reportedly backed the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. With journalist Sergio Dip favoring the Patriots, it seems that wager was that the loser had to shave his head. That game didn't end too well for the Falcons, or it seems Chicharito, who looked decidedly strange on Wednesday. This just serves as a perfect reminder for our young listeners, don't gamble, kids, unless you want to look weird in front of a global audience. I briefly mentioned Monaco's Kylian Mbappe earlier. That goal against Manchester City was his 11th in 11 games, and according to L'Equipe, as a result, he will be rewarded with his first ever call-up to the senior French national team. Keep in mind, he's only 18, so he's previously only played for their U17 and U19 squads. But he isn't the only player looking forward to the international window. Sky Sports has reported that Manchester United's Marcus Rashford will be named to Gareth Southgate's England squad for their upcoming friendly against Germany on March 22nd, and World Cup qualifier against Lithuania on March 26th. Reaction to Rashford's inclusion was, to put it mildly, mixed. While some were careful to remember that 1, the youngster was previously in Southgate's squad, and 2, Harry Kane is injured, Daniel Sturridge is still locked in Jurgen Klopp's timeout chamber, and Wayne Rooney is, Wayne Rooney. Others were angry given Rashford's lack of first-team minutes and overall goals this season. I'm mostly just excited for the inevitable pundit to pop up and exclaim, why are we picking this kid when we've got Wes Morgan scoring in the Champions League, forgetting that Captain Morgan already has 30 appearances for Jamaica. And if you think that's a far-fetched scenario, then let me just remind you that Harry Redknapp suggested exactly that only a year ago. So hooray for experts. And finally, it's some more Champions League news, but not that European nonsense. It's the CONCACAF Champions League. On Wednesday night, FC Dallas defeated Pachuca 2-1 in the first leg of their CONCACAF semifinal. Pachuca jumped out to an early lead in the third minute thanks to some poor defending from Dallas and a lovely volley from Franco Yara. The home side equalized just before halftime thanks to a well-taken finish from Maxi Arruti, and a beautiful free kick from Kellen Acosta in the 58th minute gave Dallas the win. But Pachuca do have that crucial away goal heading home, where they haven't lost in 25 matches. So there's still a lot to play for, but Dallas definitely need to bring their A game to the second leg. Actually, that probably won't even get it done. It's A+ or nothing for Oscar Pareja's men. They got to bring that A+ game. I'm sure they can handle it. And with that, we've come to the end of another Goalmouth episode. You can explore all of these stories in more depth by subscribing to our newsletter. The link is in the show notes. I've been Taylor Rockwell. Ryan Bailey will be with you tomorrow. But until then, I'll leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. Harry Redknapp knows exactly what it takes to make the England squad, at least according to Harry Redknapp.